Hey guys, so we'll be working on the header right above me. It does not look this good yet in the video, but you want to use your PPE, obviously your safety goggles, your earplugs if you want them, definitely respirator for when you're sanding, and if you don't feel comfortable doing this, get a licensed, insured, experienced trade to do this kind of work. Now this is just mudding and sanding and whatnot, so you don't worry about that. I didn't include any parts of this being sanding, but I always recommend to get somebody who's experienced and again licensed and insured to do this kind of work. So without further ado, let's get going. Wear your PPE, be safe. Installing round corner bead with 90 compound. So that gives you about 20 minutes of work time before it starts to become unable to be workable. So let's go to hyper mode. Now keep in mind, you only want to use 90 compound if you're an experienced mudder, and I'm throwing this all on there so that I can squish it out of the seams. That being said, you want to work fast. No question in anyone's mind, just work fast. Make sure you have, when you mix the compound, it is almost to the point where it is a sloppy mess, and that way you'll have the most work time to get that done. Now the reason why I choose 90 is because it has a stronger bonding ability. It's kind of like working with concrete, so once it's cured, it's not going to break, even if somebody hits it. Now, you can secure these using staples, you can secure them using glue and screws. I chose to use screws this time around because I could not find my staple gun. Simple as that. Now, the kind of glue you use is an automotive style of glue where you spray it onto the surface of the object you're going to glue to the wall, and then spray it onto the wall itself, and then you just stick it into place. This works really well. It's commonly used in roof coverings. You know, the ones that always fell down in the 70s? Well, this is the same glue you use to repair it. You spray it on, you wait a few minutes for it to cure and gets tacky, and you put it into place exactly where you want it to be, because there is no ripping it off and trying it again. Evidently, I've done this in the past, and it failed epically with the car roofs. So I ended up getting someone else to do it for me, because you do want to have a proper hand to it. This being the case, you want to make sure that you work quick with this compound. Same with the glue. You only have one chance with it all, and I'm smoothing it on. It's coming through the holes, which is what I want. And you want to get your trowel into the groove of the plastic round corner round. Now, once that's done, you just kind of smooth it out, because there's going to be a second coat and there'll be a third coat onto this. Now, I'm using this as an example. So my process will differ from yours, but you want to be able to use the compound quickly. I can't emphasize that enough, because at the end of the video, I wasn't quick enough. Within the 10 minutes of work time that I gave myself, I quite wasn't quick enough to have the plastic or the vinyl be pushed against the drywall and have the full compound oozed out. Now, if I had a second go with this, I'd probably get it right. I ended up ripping it all out, cleaning all the compound out, and then redoing it with normal mud, which, if you're a beginner, I'd do that. Hands down, that's what I would go with. Now, you want to have everything cut and set up to be stuck on ahead of time. You want your screws, your screw gun, your stapler already there. Now, if you're going to use the staples and you don't want any mud getting on your stapler, you want to don't do the pre-mud thing, but if you don't mind that, have the pre-mud on there, and then push this up into place, and as it gets into place, you just squeegee the mud away, and then you put your staples on, and then afterwards clean your stapler, obviously, and then put a little bit of lubrication into it, because you're going to be putting water and stuff into there, so you want to make sure you have an anti-gum up agent. That all being said, at that point you can do a second coat. So you get your first and second coats done, let it cure, and then do the last coat, or maybe 2 more coats after that. That way you get a nice fine sand, and that way it's perfect. That's the aim of the game. The name of the game here is to get it to come out perfect. Now, I'm trying to talk a lot to fill up this video. Evidently, that's what I'm doing. And all in all, this looks pretty dang good from this view. I probably could have fixed my first attempt at this, and this is literally my first attempt using round corner bead. The steel stuff's a bit easier because they give you that build out built into it. So this was a bit of a learning process, and you'll definitely have a bit of a learning process with this if this is your first try. It's easy stuff to work with. And then I'm going to do another video on the far side to the right for the connector piece for the 90-degree bend going down. I just kind of wanted to get this video over and done with. So we're almost done here, and this is not to my liking because the compound did cure a little too fast for me. So once I realized that, I took this down and I started a new one, cleaned everything up, put the same piece back up there, which you're able to do up until it's fully cured. So every day is concrete cleaning day, every day is compound cleaning day. So you can use compound for the round and corner bead. You just gotta be a lot faster than what I am. What happened to me, as I've been saying through the entire video, is that the compound, cured too much, too fast. I did use cold water, didn't use warm water. And I needed just about 5 more minutes of work time so I could push it out for the rest of it. Didn't quite work out for me. So like I said, I wanna rip this down and clean it up and then put it back up with normal mud. Now, we're going to be using round corner bead again, the same stuff as I've been saying all along, and now we can go at our pace. I've quickened the video a little bit, and it's the same process as before. You put the mud on, and you put it on just enough that it'll have to squeegee itself through the corner bead, and that way, when you press it on, it'll fill up the entire gap, and it helps with holding it to the wall. At this point, like I said, you can put on staples, you can put on screws, you can even just glue it with the automotive double-sided spray, which you have to spray the corner bead first. Obviously do it outside, and then spray the spray the area for the corner bead. Obviously you can't do that outside now, so spray it inside, but wear a respirator. At that point, stick it on. Sometimes it's best to, if this is like your first time doing it, to put the corner bead on the wall and then mark everything out where you want it to fit, and then take it all off, glue it, and wait for the time for it to cure, because you have to have both sides cure. And you stick it on the wall, it stays in place. I recommend obviously some sort of fastening device. Usually I use staples. Easy way to do it. You just get a staple gun and hold it up and bang, bang, bang. And that, if you're using the glue, obviously you're not going to be using the compound, so you don't have to worry about it squeezing itself through the molded piece. At this point, you let it cure up, and that way the glue is 100% done and won't be mixing with the mud. And then you can do your first and second coats. And what I would use recommended is by me would be the 90 at this point, just because you're going over the top of it, and it gives you a bit more structure, more strength. And the last few coats, where I would use normal mud because it's lighter, and then use low dusting stuff. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Hope I can give you a couple pointers using the round corner bead. I'll be putting these things throughout my entire house, and enjoy some free, non-copyrighted, free to use YouTube music. So about an hour later, and I've re-skimmed it just to kind of give you guys a look at what the finished product's gonna look like. I'm gonna be covering most of this up with my kitchen cabinets, but this is what I want to show you guys how easy it is. Just take your time, get a big trowel, smooth it on.